Well, good morning and welcome to another edition of Litter Media Live. This is the April 2nd edition of Litter Media Live with the icon Mike Smith. I'm Dan Ramey. Thank you for watching today. And we don't have our producer with us today.
That's correct. He's on assignment.
And we are on Dan Ramey time, which means it's usually behind because I've been doing other stuff. So here we are, and we appreciate your patience if you've been waiting and watching for the show. Boy, we've got a lot of stuff to talk about today. We talked about tornadoes yesterday. Yeah. We may see some tornadoes today. You want to jump right into the weather?
Yeah. We want everybody that's viewing or listening in on Litter Media Radio to keep a close eye on this all day today and tonight. Severe storms are forecast through this evening. Cloudy and cooler temperatures today with a high of 60. The National Weather Service, for those of you who are watching on Facebook Live, see this new National Weather Service map graphic. This changed from earlier this morning where they said that the storms are moving a little bit earlier than what they anticipated. The only problem is they said that this will affect their ability to give a particular time and place of some of these storms, saying that they could be in multiple locations at the same time. That's not good. In fact, just before we came on the air, there were a number of tornado warnings that were going out for northeast Kentucky and into West Virginia, like in the Huntington, West Virginia area. But we're talking about our particular area throughout the Scioto Valley and surrounding communities probably early this afternoon. And that's why a number of schools are dismissing early today or have closed schools altogether so that they won't have kids on the school bus when some of these storms hit.
And that's forced the cancellation of a lot of the sporting events for the afternoon as well. And you can see the winds kind of swirling around here on our interactive weather map, which you can find at littermedia.com. Just click on weather, and you see where it says 11 a.m. It's that orange thing. Those of you that are watching on Facebook Live and YouTube, you can grab that and slide that through the rest, and you can watch how the weather is anticipated to make its approach. So if you want to do that's available on our website, littermedia.com.
Now, once this system goes through, it's going to get much cooler. We're going to drop about 20 degrees for a high tomorrow through Saturday, mid-40s for a high, and then back into the 50s on Sunday.
I still have my my fleece jacket, just in case.
Yeah.
All right, coming up here shortly, we'll take a look at what's making news for us today. We'll also take a look at sports, and this date in history, the Litter Media Wayback Machine goes to...
Well, it's a Revolutionary War moment,
right. Yes.
which will be
Tuesday.
April of 1779.
All right, April 1779, and 200 years later, I was getting ready to graduate high school.
Yeah.
All right, coming up in a moment, we've got that for you. Stick with us. But first, we want to tell you about Accurate Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing, your trusted comfort advisor. If you've got an issue with one of those services in your homes, or just the comfort in your home just isn't what you expect it to be, click on the Accurate Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing ad anywhere you see it on littermedia.com, and it will take you right to their website, which is accuratehvac.com for accurate heating, cooling, and plumbing. News is on the way next.
Our financial lives have never been more complex, and some decisions just can't wait, which is why our K&B Mobility app gives you instant access to the financial tools you need wherever you are. Get a clear picture of all of your accounts, check your daily transactions, receive account alerts, and much more. So no matter where you are or what you are doing, you can make the best decisions for you and your financial goals. Download our Kingston National Bank Mobility app today.
Are you looking for a beer that satisfies your thirst and love of country? Armed Forces Brewing Company brews beer for patriots. Celebrate freedom with every sip. Armed Forces Brewing Company. Freedom never tasted so good. For transportation options in Ross County, call Ross County Health District's Mobility Management Team, 740-779-9652.
Find a career you love with Pickaway Ross Adult Education. Skilled trades careers are in high demand with no signs of slowing down. Pickaway Ross offers career training programs with expert instructors and hands-on learning tactics to create a variety of opportunities. Visit our website for more information.
Haynes Total Healthcare Center, you'll find them on One Medical Drive, which is right off of our friends there at Marietta Road. So you'll see like Hernstein Chrysler Jeep, that's all on one side of the road. If you see Frisch's, it'll take you right there. And you can also visit them on their website, HaynesHealth.com, for chiropractic, physical therapy, nutritional needs, and more. Haynes Total Healthcare Center, celebrating 50 years of taking care of the Scioto Valley. Some of the stories we're going to talk about today you can find on our website. That's littermedia.com. Also, you can follow along here on Facebook and our Litter Media X. We also have YouTube channel for you as well that you can, that's a free subscription, by the way. But if you want to see what's going on with news, we'll show that to you here on the website, but also here on this program.
Yes, indeed. Yesterday we had a special edition guest in longtime friend of Dan and Mike's, LaVersa Modes. We were talking about the Xenia tornado of April 3rd, 1974, for which tomorrow is the 50th anniversary. Now, LaVersa lived in Xenia and saw the tornado approaching. She talked in an interview about how she survived that, and she was also at the time working for the Xenia Daily Gazette, which a year later received the Pulitzer Prize for their post-storm coverage.
I had never seen a tornado. I had no idea. All this black swirling stuff. And I said, my gosh, look at all those birds. I thought they were birds. The manager of the beauty shop came and got my hand, and she said, get away from that window, come to the back of the shop. And she took us back there. There was 8 of us, and there was a little closet that they kept the perms and all their shampoos and stuff in. And we were lying on the floor, and we could hear this like a train going over us. And I remember thinking, I wasn't a bit afraid. I thought, I'm up against this water heater. It's going to explode. It's going to leak. And I'm going to be burned, and I'm going to be an ugly corpse. That's the only thing I thought. I wasn't afraid at all. I was just mad that those girls wouldn't scoot over so I could get away from the water heater. Well, when it was gone, all the sound died down. We got up. There was no beauty shop. There was nothing. The hair dryers were out in the parking lot. The drugstore next door, the druggist was standing there and said, are you girls all right? The wall between us was gone. We had to walk out into the parking lot to see where my girlfriend's car was because it was so damaged we could not recognize it except by the license plate.
That is vintage LaVersa Boats right there. LaVersa, of course, later worked with the Chillicothe Gazette, Chillicothe City School System. Chillicothe Telephone, or Horizon at that time, had a news service they called Plus 4, which we had an affiliation with the radio station. But if you didn't get a chance to see the interview, we encourage you to go back and see it either on Facebook or YouTube. I think Spotify has it.
You can hear it on Spotify as well, yeah.
As well as hear it on Litter Media Radio. But LaVersa also talked about not only how the Xenia community came together, but communities all across the Midwest sent people, supplies to help get Xenia back on their feet. Neat interview. The Chillicothe area business Creekside Occasions has won an Ohio Success Award in the private companies category. The wedding and event center is owned by Todd and Bethany Snowden. Congratulations.
And I took that this morning on my way into work.
How about that? How long have they been around now?
I watched them building this, I think, when I was still at the radio station. So it was around 2016 or so, but it seemed like it took forever to get it built. And then once they got it built, they started opening up. They've had several events in there, and really nice spot.
I believe there was more than 24 businesses that were honored, and if I'm not mistaken, the way the press release read, Creekside Occasions was in the category of successful private businesses under $1 million revenue per year. So still a great congratulations out to all those folks.
One of the things that they used to host before it became Creekside Occasions was the Scioto Valley Habitat for Humanity would have their fundraisers there.
Yeah, very good. And they are also in the news today, Scioto Valley Habitat for Humanity's Chocolate Fantasy, this Sunday, April 7th at St. Mary's Family Life Center from noon until 3 p.m. Cost of a ticket is $8 per person, which will give you a selection of 4 chocolate items. Tasty. Tasty and a good fundraiser for Scioto Valley Habitat for Humanity. A couple of stories about the upcoming solar eclipse. The Ohio Department of Health is issuing guidance to provide eye safety information and awareness that can be used for solar eclipse planning and readiness. Of course, that's going to be on Monday, April the 8th. Weather permitting, all 50 U.S. states, excluding most of Alaska, will experience at least a partial solar eclipse, as well as most of Canada, all of Mexico, and all countries in Central America. Now, a tie-in is that Ohio University Lancaster campus will be hosting a solar eclipse viewing party on Monday between 1:30 and 3 p.m. Free glasses are available for the first 100 people in attendance at Brazy Hall lawn between Granville Pike and the north parking lot of OU Lancaster campus.
Sorry, I missed my cue.
That's okay. And there's the glasses. And by the way, going back to our other story, people wondering, well, do just regular sun? No. They have to be a certain prescription, and in our website story, it has I can't tell you what it is. I guess prescription. It'll show you it's like a 10 code number that'll tell you what the strength of those lenses have to be.
I came across those at a store here not long ago. I got 6 or 7 of them for the grandkids, that kind of thing, and all. And I remember my wife says, "Why did you buy all of these things?" And I said, "Well, who knows what's going to happen?
Yeah.
We might be able to watch it." And then at Easter dinner, my father-in-law says, "Can you stop and get me one of them there glasses?" I said, "Dad, I got some at the house."
Got you taken care of.
You're taken care of.
Yeah, ours came in the mail yesterday. We're just 2 months away from the big centennial celebration of the Veterans Appreciation Night at Chillicothe VA Medical Center. Facility turns a century old this June, and VA Medical Center with staff past and present will be on hand, as well as hopefully the dedicated community turning out. There will be great food, live music, games, info, free swag, in other words, that's free stuff, and much more, all leading up to the Chillicothe Paints hosting the Champion City Kings later that night.
This also serves as notice that I have 2 months to get in shape for the vintage baseball game. The Ohio Village Muffins, not the Mastodons, by the way. Yeah. They joked earlier yesterday. They had a picture of the Mastodon skeleton at the Ohio History Connection. They said, "We've changed our mascot from the Muffins to the Mastodons." That way we don't have to change and no, it's not the case. But the Adina Worthingtons and the Ohio Village Muffins will play the first of a doubleheader. And that will be at the VA at 11 o'clock, and then we'll make our way up to Adina Mansion and Gardens and play our regularly scheduled game.
You call this a split-site doubleheader.
Yes.
Two different places.
We'll be traveling. We've been talking a lot about the super loads, and we've got, a fourth getting ready to come through this week. But here's what they look like installed. Matt Bruning, who's been with us talking about these super loads, and he's, of course, been all over social media sharing. So this is what the first 2 super loads looked like. They are standing upright there. And if you look in between the 2 columns, there is one that's still packaged. That is the one that went through last week. That is super load number 3. So he credits, and forgive me, I can't think of the gentleman's name,
Kevin Foley?
Yeah. He, I think, either works there or happened to be in the area to give us an opportunity to see what it looks like.
Yeah.
So that is what it looks like. And a lot of folks watch Channel 4 News, and they're celebrating 75th anniversary of NBC4. And Colleen Marshall posted this yesterday on her Facebook page. And there you see Dave Metzold along with Ben Gelber. We've got Cabot Ray and, this is horrible, Gail Hogan. Of course, Colleen's wearing the green dress there. Colleen's been to Chillicothe several times. She was a keynote speaker for OUC's graduation a few years ago. But they had this group together to record an interview that's going to air tomorrow evening on NBC4. So if you've grown up watching Channel 4, you'll want to see these programs.
Congratulations to NBC4.
I think that's the first of several that they're going to have. So I'm looking forward to that.
Good deal. Our road report stays in Ross County today. Work is set to begin on April the 15th for a resurfacing project on US 35 between State Route 138 and the Fayette County line. Work will occur daily for the duration of the project, which goes through the summer months. And that is a look at your show topics for today.
All right. I'm doing my best to find everything I can that I have allowed Aaron Glandon to run for us. So if there was a bit of a delay in the reaction, then that's because an old guy's driving the ship here this morning. All right, coming up, a look at sports for you. We've got high school results. Reds with a big win last night, and the NCAA Women's Final Four is set.
Table set.
Yes. So that's just and the Blue Jackets. We'll tell you what they did, too, all just ahead. But first, I want to tell you about our friends at Scioto Valley Dumpsters. 740-253-8389 is the number to call. Just give them a call and tell them Dan and Mike sent you because you want a dumpster. You've got a project either at your home or your business. They can help take care of that for you. Simply call 740-253-8389 for Scioto Valley Dumpsters. Coming up, a look at sports on the way next. Each week, Litter Media presents the Neil Coleman Insurance Wyandotte Mutual Player of the Week. If you have an athlete to nominate, any amateur athlete is eligible. Simply visit littermedia.com and click on Player of the Week. At the end of the year, we'll announce the Player of the Year. Make your nominations now at littermedia.com. Click on Player of the Week.
As a professional race car driver, I live for speed, power, and performance on and off the track. That's why I use the Dixie Chopper, the world's fastest lawnmower. Race into your local dealership today and test drive a new Dixie Chopper.
Visit ChillicotheOhio.com for the Ross Chillicothe Convention and Visitors Bureau. All right, now look at sports.
Yeah, high school sports last night. All of these scores, of course, can be found on our littermedia.com score page. Slew of baseball and softball. Most all of the conferences got underway with play last night. There were a couple of games that had to be suspended because of rain and so forth, but a couple of the games that kind of jump out at me, SVC baseball, Huntington stunned SVC baseball preseason favorite Unioto 7-1. In the SOC, Waitersburg blanked foe Minford 3-0. Those are usually two of the top teams in the big division of the SOC. In softball, Unioto and Adena opened with SVC wins. Those teams, among those, will be battling out for a conference championship. West, Northwest, and Eastern were run rule winners in the SOC softball. And in boys tennis, Unioto and Logan Elm were also winners. Now, staying on high school sports, Dan alluded to this earlier because of the weather threat that we have today. One of the big track meets in the area, the Piketon Invitational, that's been postponed. They don't know a rescheduled date. Most every high school outdoor activity, including practices, have been canceled. And you might remember we were telling you, I think late last week, see, this is Tuesday. That was yesterday that we were telling you about this. The first responders, honorees that would be recognized at the Washington Courthouse McLean softball game tonight. Well, because that game has been postponed, that ceremony will be held whenever they make that game up in Washington Courthouse. We don't have a makeup date. Washington, along with Miami Trace, Madison Plains, Wellston were among schools who just went out and canceled school right out of the gate. A lot of other schools are deciding to dismiss early. Not all of them have notified us of that yet, but a number of them have. So just be paying attention, moms and dads, if your kids say, hey, I'm coming home earlier today. Reds, Rally Reds. 2-2, they go into extra innings last night. Mr. Diaz comes on, and I thought, okay, I saw what he did Saturday. Turned it off, but he got out of a big jam that he inherited with people on base. And then this guy, Spencer Steer, with the bases juiced, a grand slam to put him up 6-2. They hang on. I was starting to get scared again, though, because the tying run at the plate for the Phillies in the bottom of the 10th was a guy named Bryce Harper.
Yeah.
And he struck out to end the game.
Well, Bubba Thompson was put on to run there at second base, as they added the runner there last year with the rule changes. But he stole third, but then had to go back. And then he made it to third and no issue again. And then I can't remember who was up to the plate next, but Will Benson. And Benson got on. So now you got them at the corners. They're playing the infield in. Benson steals second with no issues. And now the guy who was Brogdon, I think, was the pitcher for the Phillies. He could not throw a strike. And, I mean, as he was throwing ball after ball after ball, which were 7 straight pitches.
Right.
He ended up walking Jonathan India, so the bases were loaded now, and people were just booing. And John Sadak, the Reds announcer, he said, "Philly is a city that will let you know what they think." And then Chris Welch follows up with something like, "And they won't always use words." And then Spencer Steer comes up and knocks that grand slam, and I'm like, yeah, this is good.
Which is not good advertisement for the city of brotherly love.
Right.
Yeah. But the Reds win last night in 10, and they're back at it again in Philadelphia tonight. Now, the Guardians, who had started out of the gate winning their first 2 or 3, well, they've lost the last 2. They were in Seattle last night and fell by a score of 5-4. Now, another big story in Major League Baseball last night was this fella. Houston's Ronel Blanco, in only his 8th appearance in the major leagues, throws a no-hitter in a 10-0 win over Toronto, thanks to the Associated Press for this blip.
And I think this was the first win of the season for the Astros.
Yeah.
I think they're 1-4 now.
Yeah, so a big one for him last night. Now, as Dan talked earlier, the NCAA Women's Final Four, the last 2 teams to get in, they punched their ticket last night. Iowa beating LSU in the regional finals. That was a rematch of last year's national championship. I think Caitlin Clark had 41 points and something like that. And then UConn went on to beat USC to punch their ticket. Now, the women's national semis, which are in Cleveland, Ohio, that starts this Friday, where the men's national semis, and I can't remember where are they going for the Final Four.
I don't recall.
That'll be Saturday, where the women start on Friday. And hoop-de-doo, Columbus Blue Jackets win 2 in a row, and they get a 4-1 win last night over the Colorado Avalanche.
I think I saw in sports last night, this is their 2nd win back-to-back in like 6 weeks.
Yeah, I can't pronounce the goaltender's name. He had 45 saves in that game last night. It was 4-0, and then the Avalanche scored late in the contest. So congratulations, Blue Jackets. I think now they have 7 or 8 games left on the they're not going to the playoffs, so this will be their last several games.
And for Mike, the end of the season can't come soon enough.
Yeah. When you're struggling like that, it gives you pain for them to have to endure that.
I saw our buddy Lance Cramner was at the game last night.
Is that right?
And he made a Facebook post today, and he says, we got to start coming to all the games, because as long as he and his daughter have been there, they've been winning games.
Absolutely.
So,
Good luck,
like
Charm.
The Blue Jackets need to invest in some comp tickets for those 2. All right. Coming up in a moment, this date in history, our revolutionary moment coming your way shortly. But first, let's see. Get ready to take your breath, Mike.
Okay, here we go. I can give you a lead in. You know, earlier we were talking about legacy businesses. Well, if you've been around 92 years, that makes you, I would say, a legacy business. Yeah. And we're talking about Litter Quality Propane.
Yes, here it is.
92 years of serving propane users in southern and central Ohio. Reliable supply, reliable service, reliable people. Litter Quality Propane.
I keep going there because I'm still looking for the
Well,
next
if you're
event.
wanting to get a hold of them, you can go to their website at litterpropane.com. There's you should do that anyway, because there's kind of like a neat history on how Litter family got things started almost 100 years ago. If you need to give them a call, do that too. 740-773-2196.
And what's really cool is there's a timeline. and it's one of the bobtail trucks. They call it bobtail because they're these big gas trucks, and you click on it and you can just drag it across the top of the website, and it gives you how everything went to build the company.
Yeah.
Litter Quality Propane. All right, coming up, this date in history, our revolutionary moment next.
At Rathkamp Financial, we provide wealth management services that may ease clients' fears of financial loss and help them retire comfortably. Our greatest satisfaction comes from working with clients for many years and helping them realize their dreams.
This is Andy Tomlinson. When ensuring what's important to you, our agents are there when you need us the most. Tomlinson Insurance, for the best coverage at the best cost. Visit us online at tomlinsonins.com to learn more.
Whenever I first applied for the Archways opportunity, do I have to pay this back? Do I have to do that? Like, is it a loan? And it's not. It's a scholarship. A goal of mine is to graduate college debt-free. If you're a crew member, you get $2,500 a year, and if you're a manager, you get $3,000. And especially if you're going locally to college, like to the branch or something like that, it's really helpful.
Let me turn the microphone
Oh, yeah. Talking about the Revolutionary War minute. Well, you see, back in 1779, we didn't have this, so it was all silent, But, Revolutionary War moment, April 1779. General George Washington pressed John Jay, who would later become the Chief Justice of the U.S. Supreme Court when they take effect. But at this time, he's the President of the Continental Congress. George wants John to mobilize the American Navy against the British in Savannah. Quote, "What are the reasons for keeping the Continental frigates in port?" he asked, adding, "I am not sure, but at this moment, by such a collection of the naval force we have, all the British armed vessels and transports in Georgia might be taken or destroyed and their troops ruined. Upon the present system, our ships are not only very expensive and totally useless in port, but sometimes require a land force to protect them, as happened lately at New London." This sounds like a long-winded rear-end ripping that George Washington is giving John Jay on this month.
He could have just gotten away with saying, "Because I said so."
Because I said so. Apparently John Jay was the way kids are today. You got to explain why. And when you give the order.
So what's you sent this
Well,
image
this
to us
was
here?
the earlier report that we were supposed to use, and then we got this sent to us later, so I didn't know which one to use. But this is the story of, I believe it's Levi Colley, and in his involvement, he was no local tie to him that I'm aware of, but this is a monument that was placed in his honor. If I'm not I can't read that far away, but I think it was a battle that took place up in New Hampshire.
But that's not the Washington Monument?
No, I don't think so. No.
That's a big obelisk.
That is a big
for
one.
It to
That is a big one. Yeah.
Okay.
So you can, if you can rewind that on your YouTube or Facebook and scan a little bit closer, you can get a chance to read that story.
Let me take my glasses off so I can actually read
We were just talking during the break about whether we should wear our eclipse glasses for Monday's show.
Yes.
Just to see how long we can see anything without having to take them back off to read. So,
Honestly, I haven't even tried to look through these glasses yet. Amelia did get a piece of her hands on them, and their finger she was eating cheese or something. So you can't see through them anyway.
That probably is going to be more of a filter than the lens itself, with the Cheez-Its and all that all over the place. It's like the commercial. Is that Cheetos or something where
Oh yeah, they got
they're lying about having eaten some, and then the evidence is on their hands. Yeah, so.
And they turn off the lights and they got a black light and all around their face.
All over their face and their beard. Yeah.
You.
Yeah.
All right.
You have a special edition tomorrow?
That's
Tomorrow morning
right.
at 9?
That does sound right.
Yeah, some guy named
that's right.
Mr. Linton, I think, is coming in with his wife, I think.
Michael Linton and Annette, I almost called her Nicholson. That was her maiden name. Nettie, as I have referred to her over the years. They will be coming in tomorrow to talk about what Accurate Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing has got for us. A special edition at 9 o'clock tomorrow morning. And do you have one at 10?
No.
Okay. I was thinking we had one at 10 as well.
Yeah.
But, tomorrow's a big jam-packed day. We've got a lot of stuff going on outside of what we're doing here in studio as well. So that is if we survive the weather today.
Hopefully so.
Either way, whenever what happens, we can count on the solar eclipse happening this Monday.
Yeah.
That's it for the program. Enjoy the rest of your Tuesday. Stay safe and heed all the warnings you'll see from the National Weather Service today. So for Mike Smith and for Mr. Hand 2, who's not in studio with us today, I'm Dan Ramey. We'll talk to you soon on Litter Media Live.